What's the one thing holding you back from the life you want? It's not your boss, your partner, or your bank account. It's your addiction to comfort. Every single day, we make hundreds of tiny choices that keep us safe, cozy, and stuck. That snooze button, that extra scroll, that I'll do it tomorrow thought. Each one is a vote for stagnation. But what if I told you there's a secret, a switch you can flip, to turn your greatest weakness, the avoidance of pain, into your greatest strength? This isn't about self-punishment or hustle culture nonsense. This is about strategic, voluntary hardship. It's an ancient practice used by Stoic philosophers, monks, and elite athletes to forge unbreakable minds. Today, we're not just going to talk about it, we're going to do it. I'm going to give you 3 simple, powerful, and immediately actionable ways to embrace productive discomfort. These aren't just tips, they are mental recalibration tools. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll have a roadmap to rewire your brain, shatter your self-imposed limits, and finally start making the progress you've been dreaming of. This is the tough lesson, the one most people click away from. Don't be one of them. Your future self will thank you. So, let's start with the first, and maybe the most fundamental, form of productive discomfort: physical hardship. Now, hold on. I'm not telling you to go run an ultramarathon tomorrow. The key here is voluntary and small. It's about introducing a minor, controlled physical stressor into your daily routine. Why? Because your brain doesn't know the difference between a real threat and a controlled challenge. When you willingly expose yourself to something hard, your brain releases norepinephrine and dopamine. Norepinephrine sharpens your focus, and dopamine makes you feel motivated and driven. It's your brain's built-in reward system for overcoming a challenge. So, here's your first action item. Pick one tiny physical challenge and do it every single day for a week. The classic example is a cold shower. Just 30 seconds at the end of your normal shower. The first time, your body will scream no. But when you push through, you are sending a powerful message to your subconscious. I am in control, not my impulses. You're teaching your mind that discomfort is not a stop sign. It's a signal that growth is happening. If cold showers aren't for you, try something else. Hold a plank for 10 seconds longer than you want to. Take the stairs instead of the elevator, even if you're tired. The goal isn't to be a hero. It's to intentionally step outside your physical comfort zone, even for a moment. This single act creates a ripple effect. When you conquer a small physical challenge in the morning, you're more likely to tackle a difficult work project in the afternoon. You're building what scientists call distress tolerance. It's a mental muscle, and right now, we're starting with a very light weight. Now, for our second method, which is just as powerful, but often more frightening: mental hardship. This is about intentionally engaging with tasks that feel difficult, boring, or intimidating. Procrastination is just our brain's defense mechanism against the discomfort of mental effort. We choose the easy dopamine hit of scrolling through social media over the delayed gratification of finishing a tough project. We need to flip that script. Here's how we do it. I want you to identify one task you've been avoiding. Maybe it's starting that online course, organizing your finances, or having a difficult but necessary conversation. Now, we're going to use a technique called time boxing. Set a timer for just 15 minutes. For those 15 minutes, you have one job: to work on that single, dreaded task. No distractions, no phone, no other tabs open, just you and the task. When the timer goes off, you are free to stop. What you'll often find is that the anxiety of starting was far worse than the act of doing. That 15 minutes of focused effort breaks the mental barrier. You've proven to yourself that you can handle it. This isn't about finishing the entire task in one go. It's about training your brain to tolerate the initial friction of starting something hard. By consistently doing this, you're not just getting more done, you're fundamentally changing your relationship with work. You're teaching your brain to associate focus and effort with a sense of accomplishment, not dread. The dopamine hit no longer comes from avoidance. It comes from engagement. Every 15-minute block is a rep, building your mental endurance. Start small, 15 minutes a day. That's it. You're not just tackling your to-do list. You're building an identity as someone who doesn't run from challenges. You run towards them. We've covered the physical and the mental. Now it's time for the third and final piece of the puzzle: social hardship. This might be the most uncomfortable of all for many people. It's about willingly putting yourself in socially awkward or vulnerable situations to build emotional resilience. In our hyper-connected but often lonely world, we curate our lives to avoid rejection, judgment, or simple awkwardness. This makes us fragile. A single negative comment or an awkward silence can send us spiraling. We need to build a thicker skin, and the only way to do that is through exposure. So, here's the challenge. I want you to practice what I call voluntary social discomfort. This week, I want you to do one small thing that feels socially risky. For example, make small talk with the barista instead of just staring at your phone. Give a genuine, specific compliment to a stranger. Or, if you're feeling bolder, go to a social event or a class by yourself. The goal here isn't to become the most popular person in the room. The goal is to survive the discomfort. It's to realize that awkwardness won't kill you. Rejection, while it stings, is temporary. By intentionally seeking out these micro-rejections or moments of awkwardness, you're desensitizing yourself to social anxiety. You're learning that your self-worth is not dependent on a perfectly smooth social interaction. Each time you do this, the fear gets a little quieter. You become more authentic because you're less afraid of the outcome. You start saying what you really think, asking for what you really want, and connecting with people on a deeper level. It's terrifying at first, but it is the direct path to genuine confidence. So, there you have it. 3 pillars of productive discomfort. Physical, by introducing small, voluntary stressors, like a cold shower. Mental, by using time boxing to tackle tasks you've been avoiding. And social, by intentionally seeking out small, safe social risks to build emotional resilience. Notice the common thread. It's all about small, consistent, voluntary actions. This isn't about a massive, painful overhaul of your life. It's about planting small seeds of discomfort that grow into towering trees of resilience. The person who can willingly embrace a 30-second cold shower is the same person who can stay calm during a crisis. The person who can focus on a hard task for 15 minutes is the same person who can build a business from the ground up. The person who can risk an awkward conversation is the same person who can lead a team with confidence. Your comfort zone is a cage, a beautifully decorated cage, but a cage nonetheless. And these 3 practices are the keys to unlock it. Don't just watch this video and think, that's interesting. Pick one. Just one. Commit to it for 1 week. The cold shower, the 15-minute timer, the compliment to a stranger. Choose your discomfort. Because on the other side of that discomfort isn't more pain. It's freedom. It's strength. It's the person you've always wanted to become. The journey starts now, with one small, uncomfortable step. Take it. Thanks so much for watching. If this resonated with you, let me know in the comments which challenge you're going to take on this week. Hit that subscribe button for more content on building a stronger, more resilient mind. Now go get uncomfortable.